Course 3, What is an Educational Philosophy? Instructors, Marshall A. Boiler and Cheryl T. Munson. Brought to you by Education and Training Associates. Powered by Siena Education Services.
Okay, the last part is you're going to submit your philosophy. Now, what is a philosophy? There's a lot of definitions. The one you might say it's a roadmap for life's journey. It's a way that it keeps you heading where you want to go rather than going astray. It's wisdom that you get through the experience of others. In other words, part of a philosophy is what you have learned from other people, the courses you took, the work you did. It's been called life's perspectives. It's a way of looking at life and saying what matters and what doesn't. It's a theory. I like the last two. It's a system of knowledge and belief. It includes things that you know up here about teaching and education. Right up here, all the stuff you already know. But it also includes things you have learned from your experience, but it also includes those things in your heart that you know and that you feel are important. In other words, your own values. It's a system of principles for guiding practice. In other words, if you have a solid philosophy of education, you can't go astray. You can't. If you know what good teaching is, then you can do it. You don't get caught in traps and find yourself doing poorly. And by the way, if anybody asks you, you can always tell them why you're doing that. Because you do have a reason. Okay, what is vocational educational philosophy? In 1980, Elias and Merriam identified 6 philosophies of adult education. One, they said, is behaviorist. That's behavior modification. Do you do some of that? Do you try to get your students to behave more professionally? And do you tell them that is not acceptable and yes, this is acceptable? Liberal. Organized knowledge for development. Do you want your students to get smarter? Analytical and logical positivism. Do you want them to be able to analyze what they're learning and take a scientific approach to what they're doing? Humanistic. Do you want them to begin to adapt and adopt the values that go with your profession? And do you want to prepare them for radical change? It's going to happen, people. There isn't a field in the world that's standing still. I've been talking to Tracy. My field is changing in front of me. I have to change with it. I either change with it or I go under. And everything is happening twice as fast. Everything happens twice as fast as it used to. I think about my first car. 1951 Plymouth Coupe. It didn't have turn signals. It didn't have seat belts. It didn't have. High-low beam was on the floor. You pushed a button with your foot. It was stick shift. And the shift was on the column. It did not have power steering. The power for steering came from two arms. The headlights were hardly worth talking about. The back window was this. It was like the original Volkswagen Beetle. Forget the mirror here. There were no outside mirrors. There was one mirror in the middle of the window. That was the mirror. The tires, they were okay, but they don't have the lasting capacity, the gripping capacity, and everything they have today. Nothing like it. Technology is changing so fast. And I don't care what you're teaching. I don't care what field you're in. You have to prepare the students for a radical changed future. What we're doing today is going to be old hat in 2 years. What is vocational education? It consists of education programs that prepare people for either paid or unpaid employment. Not every vocational course leads to a job. I may take a course in keyboarding to benefit personally, not because I plan on taking a job as a computer entering person. In 1985, M.D. Miller came up with 3 proposed philosophies, and this is the latest. There hasn't been a lot of change in adult vocational education philosophy since then. The first one is essentialism. We call that instructive. It's teacher-centered. The second one is existentialism, personal growth. It's student-centered. That's similar to our cognitive. And the last one is pragmatism. It's real world. It centers on both the teacher and the student, similar to cognitive, I meant constructive in the other one, cognitive in this one. I misspoke. Why should you develop an educational philosophy? It provides a framework for you to do what is right by your own beliefs, your own values, and your own brain. It establishes a view, a worldview, from which you can analyze. You can say, am I living up to good teaching? Am I a good teacher? Am I doing what good teachers do? It provides a perspective so we can look at teaching, stand aside a bit, and say, what is teaching? What's it about? It provides an explanation for why we do what we do. If someone comes up to me and says, Marshall, why do you do what you do? I have a 3-page document that I wrote first in 1964. It was a 1-page document then. In 1964, I wrote, what is good teaching? It's now 3 pages. It's got some scratch outs. It's got a lot of additions through experience, through knowledge, through study, through falling on my face. It prepares us for an unknown future. what you're doing today may not be the end-all and be-all. Very shortly, Ridley Lowell might have 80% of their courses online. Could happen. It's happened at other schools. Right now, New Horizons Computer Learning Center, every course is all online. That's all they teach. Online courses. Things are changing. Here's the problem. If you don't have a philosophy, somebody's going to sell you a bill of goods about how you should do something, and you're going to fall for it. If you have a philosophy and somebody's asking you to do something you know doesn't work, you will say, no, I'll go along with some of this, but I'm not going to do that because that is just plain wrong.